So today, me and Lane are working with a beagle that has some extremely bad pulling and minor reactivity type behaviours. So this is a really rare opportunity where we get to double team on a consultation, where I get to focus purely on the behaviour modification, and Lane is going to be here helping purely with the obedience and training element to give them the best of both worlds and really be able to help this beagle achieve success. Like, we need to build some engagement and then just some obedience.
Yes.
I don't think there's much kind of behaviour modification to do, because I don't think his behaviour is bad. I just don't think you've necessarily got the training fundamentals in place, which again is what Lane specialises in. So she's our trainer that specialises in obedience and heel obedience in particular.
So I barely gave him a correction just 2 seconds ago when you guys were talking. That's why he's like, oh, I'm kind of done. Steve, no. Good boy. Good boy, Steve. No. Good. Good boy. Yeah.
So do you know earlier, so what Lane's doing here is kind of an engagement tune-up. She's letting him know what is appropriate and what isn't appropriate. It's like a bratty toddler having a tantrum, but Lane's going to keep working him to work through that so he understands, oh no, I just have to listen. This is where I want to jump in and say what Lane's just done there. I don't know if you're aware of how huge that is.
Massive.
And you'll see it'll happen in a minute. So his nose will go down and he'll disengage from Lane. See, that was magic there.
Yeah.
And now his nose is starting to come up because he's learning that kind of time and place element of it.
But see, even there, normally he'd be trying to pull everywhere, but he's just sat by your side, and that's great to see.
From a canine psychology and communication, can you see how he's leaning up Lane's leg? It's easier for Lane because she started a relationship from scratch with him, and obviously she's got a lot of skill in being able to handle that very initial tune-up, we call it, a leader and kind of follow a relationship from scratch. So Lane can now take that obedience as far as she wants. The thing you have to be aware of is that you don't have a blank slate. You have to, so we're going to have to unpick some bad things, create a blank slate, and then you'll build it up from there.
Just make sure I walk them on my left side. Depends on which side you want to walk him on. As soon as he starts to go away, we don't want to say his name to correct him. You'll just kind of get his attention first. We always want to make it fair. So we want to try and give him a chance to, hey, follow me, follow me. So I always say Steve, or just make a little noise, whatever it might be. And if he doesn't kind of follow along, or he starts sniffing or doing something else, it's just a quick pop. You never want a constant tension on a dog, especially him. He's just going to fight against it anyway. So just, I always say a pop instead of a pull. So just Steve, right after, and then continue going. That's nice, right?
Wow. Good boy.
It's kind of fun when he doesn't pull you everywhere. Perfect. So at this point, we really noticed the difference in relationship. Mom had a great time with heel walking, where Dad was kind of struggling a little bit with his leadership on that end.
So that's where I jump in and help with more of the behaviour modification of that. And that behaviour modification needed to stem from him. He had to restructure that relationship and learn more fundamental leadership skills. So I coached him through exactly how he needed to do that. He needed to let that dog know that he was in charge of that situation, and that the dog needed to look up to him for guidance and direction rather than throwing a tantrum to get what the dog wants. Now, once we were able to achieve that, once we were able to restructure that relationship and he was able to start having incredible levels of success, we were able to jump back in, and Lane was then able to keep moving forward with the training to be able to take it to the next level.
Which is actually what we did. They have a really big issue with jumping, especially because they have a 4-year-old in a home. So once we got that heel walking a little bit better, we started working on how to correct that jumping in a proper way. Good. And you see how we sat back down even though you didn't have to correct him, I didn't have to say it again. He's like, oh, I'm not supposed to do that anymore. So give him less leash. We're gonna do a little bit slower just to get his brain kind of focused in on us. Still those quick turns, exactly. And then you can start going.
Good.
Beautiful. It's pretty cool, right? And then you're gonna come back up to us again and keep going. Wonderful. You see how much tighter he's in? Like, he doesn't have that extra leash to just do whatever he wants.
Sit. Good boy.
Beautiful.
Good boy.
That was great. I'm gonna walk up to him. Good boy. Great. So that's okay. I don't care if he does that. He's a little beagle. It's their little weird thing they do, but that's fine. He didn't jump on me. He didn't put his paws on me. That's great. And this is like easy to do, even if you guys are just in the house. You can even have your 4-year-old come up to him, because now you have full control. If he does try to jump on him, nope, it's not okay. You're not jumping on the baby. You know, that's not cool anymore because we don't want that. You don't even have to say sit a million times. Now he's like, oh, I got up, I get in trouble, I'm gonna sit again. And that's what we like. And he's not stressed, his tail's not tucked under him. He's not like, oh God, these people, what are you doing to me?
So that was a fun case and a really bread and butter one for both me and Lane, but it was a cool dynamic that Lane was able to come at it from a trainer perspective, and I was able to focus on the behavior and relationship perspective to allow us to achieve high levels of success. And it shows that with that fundamental understanding of a balanced approach, whether you're more in the behavior realm or the training realm, they're not one or the other, they actually can sit in harmony. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so that we can see you here on the next episode of Fenrir Canine Training.